I'm just, in the end, I'm just really bossy. Why did I want to be a teacher? Because I can boss people around and tell them what to do. No, just kidding. After I told you this is a teamwork thing, right? Okay, so we talked, for those of you, I just pressed record again, for those of you, we've been talking about, have you ever been asked to write something and your mind goes blank? And have you ever planned for something that you're going to write? So we've been having these warm-up questions just to get us into this idea about writing and to help us feel comfortable about writing. Does anybody want to share any of the things that you talked about with your partner when it comes to writing? Your feelings about writing, your ideas about writing, when you write, anything, you can just shout it out if you want to share it. But not all at once. Everybody take turns. Can't have too much noise in here. Nobody had any thoughts about writing. Wow. Somebody be brave, shout something out.
Well, I would say if somebody asks you to write something,
Yeah.
like just out of the blue, like
Yeah.
write something, or quickly tell you write something about that.
Yeah.
That's when your mind was
Yeah.
blank.
Yeah.
We talked about that too. Like,
Yeah.
especially with free writing.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Trudy mentioned something called free writing, and that's something we're going to be talking about in the coming days. Free writing, and what does free writing mean? Yeah, save that thought. Okay. Any other thoughts about writing that anybody?
To make me a better writer, to follow the steps,
Okay.
and then write down notes on the side just to remember.
Yeah. So there's steps. Yeah, there are steps. We actually call it the writing process. Nobody, let me repeat, nobody writes something formal that other people are going to read and writes it the first time perfectly. Nobody does that. I mean, we take notes for ourselves. We write maybe in our diary or in our journal. We know nobody out there is going to read it. The audience is us. So we're not concerned, right? We can write. But anything else that we're going to write, maybe a text, we're not worried either. Because, the phone will correct it for us or make it totally dumb. Come out totally dumb, right? But if I had asked you to write something, a story, for example, about your life right now, your mind might be a little bit like, oh boy, what do I do, right? So there is a process. It's called the writing process, and we're going to talk about it in 5 steps. Now, this week, we are only going to focus on those first 2 steps of the writing process. We're not going to do this super quickly. We're going to take it step by step. But I'm going to hand out the 5 steps right now, and I'm going to pick on people who've been in my class before, because I just feel like picking on them. And I'm going to give them each a step, and I'm going to ask them to come up here one at a time and see if we can put these steps in the right order. Okay? So, there's a little sticky on there. I'm just going to call you up by name. Apparently we can't all be at the front at the same time. I'm just going to call you up by name, and you're going to come and stick it along the side there. So if you're the first person, you might stick it where you think that step comes in the 5. Does it come lower? Does it higher? Oh boy, it's a fancy ringer. Okay, so I'll turn this off because if you don't want to be seen.